No, you're fine.
Also, I brought chocolate to sweeten the deal.
Oh, you wicked woman.
No one's angry.
Do you have a Google Drive that you'd like me to use, or just a regular Excel?
Yeah, from the Google Drive.
Oh, I like this. I was thinking, you needed
I
to.
almost texted you a 5:45 this morning, but I ended up finding it.
Oh, I try to not.
That's late for me.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah, no, I have to sit around and wait.
Got that as far as I could.
Figure
Which one's it in?
I think, is there a top, okay, climate action plan? Maybe towards it, it's like a list of.
Oh, is it not in a?
I
is it
found it
matrix
this morning.
List or something?
Oh,
Sorry, can we go
matrix.
back up again?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
Is
cap
it cap
report.
report?
Yeah.
Oops, that's not the right one.
Yeah.
I don't know
list of
why my
actions.
brain was skipping right past that.
I believe the.
Yeah.
26 one,
20.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay.
All right, let me share the screen.
Hard to read.
Yeah, the, agenda.
Yeah, yeah, I have it open as my minutes, which is
Okay,
based on the
perfect.
agenda, yeah.
I was thinking,
Hey, everybody.
You want me to send it to you, or you have a? Okay.
no, there's only like 2 things on there, so I figured maybe we'll. Yeah. Stick to it here.
Oh. Option guest. Guess that's the one.
Yep, passwords on the wall.
Jackie, did you want to be over here? So you.
No, I'm done. As long as I'm not in anybody else.
I've never been able to do it, but I can try.
I have to always restart, but I don't want to restart, so.
All right, everyone's here. Call to order. Is public comment first on there, or is approving?
Yeah, invitation for public comment.
Invitation for public comment. We have someone from the public.
Oh, just here to listen, not comment,
No comment?
not yet.
All right,
yeah.
moving on. Approval of December's meeting minutes, probably the next thing. Any discussion?
Move it.
There's a
Can
Second.
we approve it?
second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
By the way, discussion's supposed to come after the motion and second.
What's this?
In Robert's Rules of Order, the discussion comes after the motion and has been made and seconded.
Okay, sorry, any discussion?
Just-
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm a stickler. You may have
Good,
noticed.
yeah, keep it going. All right, no further discussion? All in favor? Okay, awesome. I thought maybe going over the, this, PowerPoint that I made. And Meg's on the line and kind of discussing what's gonna, how it's gonna.
Staff updates.
Oh, staff update, sorry.
I don't really have any updates. I think, could we move staff updates to the end? I might have comments at the end of the meeting. Possible, I don't know. It'd be better for you guys to discuss and do your stuff before I don't have any updates of any, yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so moving on to the PowerPoint. So Meg, how's it going there? You can hear us?
Good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you guys?
That's on me.
Should we just?
Meg, can you say something again?
How's this?
You hear us the entire time?
What?
Hear us the entire time?
I could hear you, yeah.
That's so good to hear, because we were accidentally.
All right, so my understanding, and let's all weigh in on what's gonna happen on Tuesday, is that the Energy Committee is gonna kind of take the reins on presenting the plan. And we will have Megan FB there to help navigate some facilitation of questions, or maybe helping us answer some. Is that kind of how you thought about it, Meg?
Yeah, I had, kind of provided an agenda, before, so, and then we had spoken about it, that makes more sense for the Energy Committee to, take on that, this role, so, I'm happy to do whatever you'd like me to do.
I'm not gonna be there, so I apologize, but I did work on the PowerPoint and I'm happy to open up.
I don't know, sorry, I guess if. I think I'd be, we'd be happy to just go and run with it and just, have Meg and Julia. Be there for questions and,
To
details.
facilitate.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if that's okay,
Yeah. I thought, like, in the last meeting, we had, one kind of, like one of them questions, and you did a really great job at deflecting and moving the meeting forward. So, I kind of expect something like that to come up again.
Yep.
So, help with that kind of stuff would be awesome.
And maybe reminding the group, well, or just that this climate action plan is a statewide document. And towns are encouraged and supported financially to do the planning to follow that. And we have state law that requires a greenhouse gas emissions by a certain time frame. I think this should be, we should make that really clear at the beginning of this meeting, that they're driving state law and plans that are promoting this activity in every town in the state that is chosen to participate. But it is really, we have legal requirements to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. 80% by 2050 and to be climate neutral. I've forgotten what date that's supposed to be. Does anybody remember that 20?
Yeah, I wrote it
2050, I believe.
it's in here.
Yeah, but let's just be clear, they're not legal requirements, they're targets. But that's, something that, we'll leave that up to you guys to, provide that info.
Okay, I'd like to do that, then I'll get my facts together here.
Yeah, well, being on hand to rescue us from ourselves would be.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not thinking we're gonna be awful or anything.
no,
like that.
I don't either.
Just a statement like that. Bingo,
It's helpful.
it's good.
It's very helpful.
Can
I mean, I would be happy to, at least do some part, if not all, whatever,
Well, I
a
think-
presentation of that. And anybody else, that is interested in,
Yeah.
delivering some of this would be.
I would think we should divide it up just a little bit,
Mhm.
just so the audience doesn't, it's not the same person having to do the whole thing. and
Right.
So, yeah, I'd be happy to take part of it.
Mhm.
You are,
So would I.
okay. And so, yeah, we should, kind of just say, I've seen many presentations like this where somebody starts out with the overall view and then hands it to somebody else who
Yep.
worked on part of the project. And
Yep,
so that, I don't know, we have to figure out who does what, but,
it should be pretty easy though.
yeah.
It breaks down into.
What would you like to talk about? Thank you.
I guess I've done the most work on the survey.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, I could,
Mm.
talk about the community, I don't know, community involvement and see where's.
Basically
Process,
12 slides,
yeah,
11 really.
It's very
Or
short.
10. 10 with content really.
Page 7 has the survey
yeah,
part. I mean, it
yeah.
covers more than that, but
yeah, it does, so I could, yeah, I could start there and take. It doesn't, yeah, it doesn't quite break up into subject areas, I mean, different parts of the plan, but still,
I don't know if you also might, Victor, want to do page 6, and the reason is because you were part of the initial
Yeah,
2012 plan.
I could do like
You-
6 through 6 and 7 or something, 6, 7 and 8. Let's see, what was, yeah, however it makes sense,
I mean, here's something for you, Nancy. I know that you've been very involved in getting out there. A lot of the tabling you've been there for, you've
Yeah,
been doing,
yeah.
would you
So-
be interested in maybe covering that?
Social vulnerability, is that one? Or-
Yeah, so page 5 just outlines all of the different things we've done, like all of our committee meetings, and we've been tabling, and we've been
Yeah, yeah,
kind
sure.
of going,
I would love to talk
do
about
that.
my efforts to get the low income and senior communities involved in this planning process.
Okay.
Briefly,
Um,
and these all summarize all these things down. Yeah, sure.
would you be interested also to cover the where are we in the process part? That's pretty kind of,
That's pretty basic.
yeah,
Yeah,
That
okay,
should
5 and
do.
6, or 4 and 5, 4 and 5. All right.
I wouldn't mind taking the part about what is a climate action plan.
do you want to try,
Take my
do you
stab
want
at
to
like,
start it off?
yeah, start off
1, 2,
1,
and
2, 3, something like that.
hello, welcome. So,
What's that?
one is hello, welcome.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's,
somebody gotta do it.
yeah, somebody's gonna do it, so that's good.
At some point, we should say too that there wasn't funding in this project to assess when we get talking about greenhouse gas balancing, that we didn't have the funding to measure Thompson's lands, forests and fields and farms for sequestering carbon and lowering the carbon footprint of the town. But this could be a next step, be another grant, resilience grant.
Mhm.
It would be helpful since our students really value this, which was protecting the environment was one of their high values on the survey.
Right,
Yeah,
And I think the public too.
yeah, Steve worked on a project with the Mount Ararat
So
people.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. We're doing energy tours on Thursday of the Mount Ararat building, 4
Oh, no
o'clock to
kidding.
7 o'clock.
have you seen
With-
it? Oh, you should definitely, if you have a chance, you should definitely go,
So I have
it's an amazing
Nick,
building.
1 to 3,
Right, I know.
Nancy 4 to
They
5.
Took the kids out in the woods
and
and count
Victor 6
trees,
to
but I never
7.
got to see
But
the
maybe
other side.
Victor
of it.
could
Yeah,
also do
yeah,
the-
all of the.
Or who's
When-
left,
when will that
Jackie
be
said
on? Tuesday?
volunteered as well.
Jackie, do you have any?
I did, but I don't,
She could do that.
I could-
as the
Or 11.
newest person on here, I probably have the least background for.
Yeah, and she wasn't here when we did much of this.
I also feel like me, Nick and Victor really probably should cover some of the projects that we.
What we've done so far?
Yeah, because we were involved in the PPA, we were there, I mean,
Yeah,
LED lights, I feel like kind of know. Those, I mean, like, I'm not gonna be here, so I'm just
Yeah, yeah,
saying that, but I don't know if Victor, you want to carry on for
let's see, what,
a little longer.
yeah, so,
Cause all the way to 10 is like our
6 through 10.
projects,
yeah, I could, I mean,
but I don't want to cut anyone out of this.
I mean, I can do 9 and 10. Do that part. If you want.
Are folks feeling sad if they're cut out of the?
Yeah, don't,
No,
Well, I organized one of the webinars on energy efficiency. But I don't, you have to have this whole smart application process. You have to give me a.
Richard, do you
So
wanna
Nick
take
opens
it?
it up, and then Nancy talks about community work, Victor, six through 8, and then Nick closes it out.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah. I'll do-
6 through 8, Victor.
Yeah.
On page 8 here. Well,
Victor's doing 8, and
Victor's
then,
doing eight.
and then
Okay.
Nick, you'll go on 9, 10. Do you wanna start off at 9 or have Victor deal with the?
well, I mean, it might be fun for us to, tag team the 9 and 10,
Yeah.
say some of it, you could say some of it.
Okay,
You know.
whatever, yeah,
Um, Jackie, what would you think about doing next steps? I mean, I'd like, want to make sure you get in.
Or
here somewhere.
Victoria.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna be very honest. I'm very concerned that the next steps there's nothing about what we actually have, what we hope will be in the plan. I'm gonna guess that the first question we're gonna be asked is, well, what's the plan? This describes everything that's been done so far, which is great, but and other than where it does say a couple of things on what's new in the plan. I also have a few comments on some wording I'd like to see.
Can we just first deal with who's gonna do
Yeah.
what, and then we'll,
Okay,
and I
Can
don't
I just ask a
disagree.
clarifying question about what's the rest of the agenda? So is it basically this and then a Q&A?
That's
Or
all I
is
got.
there?
which doesn't feel like a workshop.
I guess what I was
Feels
wondering
like
is
a
how are
presentation.
we integrating, or how are we communicating how we integrated public comment? I think that's really important.
Well, the
So
last
you're-
slide is I need to ask these questions, which is, hey, is the solicitation for public comment this time frame? Is this the thing and this the thing and this the thing? I mean, that's literally, we don't have the thing. We are kind of like, yeah, we don't have it to give you.
Yeah,
It's
I
what
would-
it is.
Yeah,
I think if we could make some kind of comments though about how we've heard the public and we integrated many of the great comments from the prior. So just sort of making mention of that, so
But
people
what about-
realize that their input was somehow either integrated or not. You know what I mean?
then why not have a slide that has not the whole matrix, but simply those parts that we feel should be in there, or could be in there.
Like, study.
But because that shows those were, and you could even reference on those things, these were addressed, this particular thing got this many votes. I mean, I did a whole new spreadsheet that ordered those. Those
Or even
things
a
started
couple
from 60.
photos of the workshop could be thrown in there to show. Because a lot of people this might be their first workshop and then they wonder,
Possibly, yeah.
like, did anyone,
Right,
come and offer
Mm-hmm.
input? So even if we threw a photo or two in the presentation to reference the
Mhm.
prior workshops. I think.
I assumed that we were going to have in writing for the public, some of the main action items that got the most votes at our public meetings. And we at least need a summary of what the items are, so people
yeah,
know
exactly,
what the plan
because those, I mean, because they
I
don't
mean, we're
have any
still going over
parameters
them
on them. they're-
tonight, so.
Well,
Yeah.
right, but we should, there's some that after tonight, we should be able to come up with, these are 4 of the highly recommended steps, and there will be other ones on the areas of transportation, housing. The big, that we think are really important to take actions on, that the public thinks are. It's not us personally, but what did the surveys? would highlight?
We could have, it's possible we could have a poster that people could inspect. I don't know if we're gonna have time to, for people to do that, but we could have a poster with the list of actions as we have it now.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
say, this is what we're looking for feedback on. Here's what we have at this point. Here's what we're looking for
Thank you.
feedback on.
We need to do that.
And then I don't know how they get feedback on dots or.
No.
Uh,
Well,
maybe,
you could give everybody 2 dots and say, and
Yeah,
take
well,
another round.
I'm thinking more, maybe, I want written comments, so maybe. Just either have, paper that they could just leave comments on, and then either stick it on the plan.
Or
or
give
just-
everybody an index card and a
Yeah.
pencil.
Yeah, something like that, and just, I don't know, that's my thought. But we could also have a slide of that, but the problem with the slide is that, you pick out a few things and, that might work. We could have like a few, we could add one more slide that's like what's new in the plan, and after that's, give some details of a few new items. But say, the whole matrix is over here, please look at that and, and then give us your feedback from that, so
Because
just,
we're gonna have some people who haven't come to the second meeting, and we'll have,
yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
have others who will want.
Well, or maybe what we can have
See
is a slide of like, of Jackie's list of the things at the first meeting that
Could
had
do
the
that.
highest,
Yeah.
responses. That's
Yeah,
different
I
information.
could easily
And then
make
say,
that slide.
here's the matrix we developed.
Well, we can just grab those big boards and we'll just, put a big circle next to all the ones that made the
Mm.
We
list.
could do that, yeah, that would.
That
work
would
too.
probably
That
be
would
the
be-
I like
simplest.
that.
Yeah,
That shows the public.
But there's more stuff too, which is like the whole list.
yeah, so I still think we need, we
Yeah, we
probably
need
need
the
the big
big,
list somewhere,
Yeah.
And it's just too big to fit on, I mean, it's not gonna fit on the screen and people aren't gonna be
Maybe
able to
just
read
one,
it quickly.
just a big copy of the list because of the sticky notes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be confusing. We'll have all kinds of things.
I'd just like to interject. I haven't actually seen this presentation at all, and I'm hearing the meeting has changed. Can you guys just talk about what has changed a little bit? Because I'm not sure that I'm aware. And I'm afraid that we may have advertised this as something that it is no longer going to be, because it was advertised as the opportunity to give your input on the draft, and I was,
We already knew that the draft wasn't gonna be available.
I'm sorry, that's what I was, when I saw in the materials at the beginning of January, that's what that was, where this meeting was supposed to be.
Yeah, but we learned that the draft wasn't gonna be ready, so that's.
So is
Things have
there,
been delayed, we can say that, things have been delayed. and we want-
is there anything for the public to review prior to this?
Can I also say, I never thought this meeting was to be reviewed the draft of a document, because you wouldn't really do that in a public meeting.
Right.
So I think they've seen everything so far. So what they haven't seen is this list of actions. And, you can call that the plan. This is our draft plan.
Yeah.
I think that's fine to say that. And this is our draft plan. And what do you think? I think it would be perfectly fine to do it that way.
Yeah, and when I say misadvertise, I just mean that it says something like give your input. So there's definitely wiggle room, but is there something that's going to be available to post? Because I am getting that from people as well, and I think that's partly why you're
I'm
here.
here because I thought that
Is
there was
he-
gonna be a
yeah.
plan that to comment on, and I think that's what. When I see this, the advertisement that was sent out by the town, it was like, this is an opportunity to comment on it, but it ain't.
No. We are very
Well,
far.
it does sound like it does sound like you are providing that opportunity, because if people have been referring to this list as the plan. So you can definitely have it be something for the people to review.
This is a review of work effort that's been put in toward developing a plan.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
think what we're getting at is a way
The-
to present the
No,
list
I
of
haven't.
actions for people.
Steve hasn't seen the matrix yet, there's I don't know, 71 lines of items.
Will that be something that?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Posting and trying to find some way for people to write stuff down or
Will the
whatever.
meeting be recorded so we can people can make oral comments that we can then study and take and think about more thoroughly?
Yes,
Is-
all
is it
the
gonna-
meetings have been recorded. They're
Okay, so,
available
and then
on
it will be
YouTube.
available for each of us to look at?
It's available on YouTube. It'll be available on YouTube. It'll probably be live streamed to YouTube.
Are you asking though, if
Stream.
people are going to be able to ask comments that are online? Watching?
No, I want to
No,
know
no,
that
no.
we don't miss any input that we get orally from people at
Yeah.
this meeting. That's
Oh.
what I'm.
Yeah, we'll
asking
get
about.
that.
We're gonna get it, okay.
So if
Um,
what we're going forward with is that the matrix is the plan, is that going to be available, say like tomorrow for me to post, for people to review prior to this meeting?
We will see how far we get in
Today,
reviewing Mark's
yeah.
comments tonight. No, we've got
Yeah.
a lot on our plates.
I do wanna say one thing, I think that this plan is a scientific, as best as we can be, a document to support the town in predicting the future that they're gonna have to deal with. And it's an uncomfortable thing for our town manager to face the fact that these things are happening. So there's sympathy there. But what we have to say is that this is not the time to edit the document. I do not think we should go through Mark Waltz's comments one by one, because he is one citizen making input like all the other citizens who've been doing the surveys. Should have no influence on this document. Because this document comes from the work of FP Environmental and this group for now a year and a half, however long it's been.
So
And
anyway,
this,
yeah,
whether it's implemented, the reality of it after, if it's passed, which we will assume it will be, then the town, it doesn't demand that the town do these things. It is a recommendations of what we can do to reduce town cost, to reduce hurt to people, to preserve our resources.
Right.
It is a recommendation of best practices.
Well, we are gonna go over his comments though.
Okay, but I do point out, he's only one citizen putting input into this, and he shouldn't be drafting or editing before the document comes out. I think we should be respectful of him, because he has to implement a lot of this, and I think we have in the task, we've tried to give a lot of the tasks to other groups other than town manager. You know, energy committees is signed up to do quite a bit more on this. I just, that's all I need to say tonight.
Okay, so I definitely hear that we need to have the matrix in there, and I'm just looking at the PowerPoint to kind of figure out where that might go. So is this something like,
I think we should have something on the PowerPoint that's, maybe just, kind of categorical. We've got the, various actions, accelerate transition, on down the list.
so one of,
We've got, we should say that, that there's more specifics over here with this, but we should give people, an outline of what, of what we are
Okay.
thinking are the priorities, are the, the highest
like a
priorities.
slide?
And I really like, yeah,
For a slide for each of the matrix categories and highlight a few of
Why
them, not
not?
like a
why
crazy
not?
bullet.
And let's say,
list, but-
let's say, how much demand or, how many people from the public commented,
Right.
let's rate
Yeah,
those
there
things.
definitely needs,
you
it
know.
definitely needs to be tied to those survey answers.
Right,
And
But I would suggest that I mean, that matrix is basically the one that Maine won't wait. Whatever, right?
based on that.
And, right, and why not to take out things that we're talking about our ability as a town to do,
Right,
that we think are doable in the next whatever. And, so that we don't have all those things, because I think.
yeah,
if you
no,
put them
definitely not all of
down,
it, we've got to.
and a lot of it, it involves some of Mark's comments that, okay, if we don't put it up there, I mean, I don't think he realized that's the main won't wait list.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been so quick to say, take out the accelerate. Because that's exactly what
Yeah,
it says.
We didn't make it up,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And
how,
I don't think he also got the idea that I don't know how closely he read what, I'm sorry, what Yvette was saying, as background for this, but, though there are only certain ones. He commented on every single item, every 71 items. That wasn't what we were talking about.
well, I'm glad he read all of them.
Yes, this is true, this is true, but it's too bad that he didn't understand that
We'll have
there's a whole big
we'll have
picture.
our time to explain.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
So how about, after what's new in the plan, I add several slides that are gonna cover the different topic areas like the transportation, the natural working lands, the whatever, I don't have it all in front of me.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'll just do that, I'm gonna pull out some of the,
And just the
some of
ones,
the special ones.
Right,
right, just the ones that we want to put in our plan.
Yeah, some
Well,
of,
there's a
well, I-
lot of them.
the main categories though are the, embrace the future of transportation,
Yeah, so
you know,
transportation.
modernize main buildings.
Yeah,
There's reduce emissions through clean energy innovation. And then there's a bunch of ones that are smaller that only have like, grow jobs and protect natural resources, protect the environment.
and they don't have a lot of things.
Yeah,
under
well,
them,
those
probably.
those two could probably be one slide, and then
Mhm,
the
mhm.
next like three could be another slide,
Okay.
and just pick out a few items.
Yeah.
Build healthy communities, invest in climate-ready infrastructure,
And I think it would be good to say upfront
maybe that.
that this is based on the list that's in Maine Won't Wait.
Yeah.
So
Right.
again, it's not
Right.
us.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of people across the state who have worked for years
yeah,
coming up with this.
Of all.
Well, I mean, I did write in the,
Yep.
the list of actions that's been compiled from other publicly vetted resources, including the results from our last workshop,
Mhm.
Oh,
the 2019
um,
comp plan, and our community resilience partnership application materials. That's the main
Right.
white. Also carries forward actions from the 2012 plan that are still outstanding and relevant.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, I mean, it's in there, but it's sort of highlighting it
Go under action.
a bit more,
Was
so
this
that,
the-
you know, and having those extra slides.
yeah, that's what it was.
I
So
think
this is
it's
the-
really important.
Yeah, I feel like if you guys wanna like. Well, I don't know, actually. I think that whoever says which slide should just be the one talking, because it could get a little
Okay,
crazy if we. Okay, so I can do that, but are there some things in this that? Isn't working for people? I'm sorry, I didn't read your
No,
comments, but
they
if you
were
wanna
pretty minor,
bring them up, we
actually.
can.
No, it's more along the lines of what I just said, where if we could, make, I'm just trying to find them, but.
Can I
Yeah.
just ask a couple questions? I mean, I'm looking at this, this is what prompted me to show up, what they sent out. And what, when you read it, it says the reason for being here is to provide feedback on the final draft of the updated 2012 plan. So to read what you've been doing, what you got in here, it's all great, because you guys have done a lot of work and it's got you to this point. Bringing in the matrix that you've got is, from what I'm hearing, is going to be problematic because you don't really, not only is it, it gets down to a lot of individual items that are state sponsored for the most part. But if I'm somebody from the community here, from the town, how does it, what could I expect from this Topsham plan that's affecting me as a, in my house? Or what could I expect from, to see from our municipal buildings, you know, our municipal, infrastructure?
Yeah, well, actually, the matrix actually does, we took the categories from the plan, but we didn't take the actual action items from the plan, so to speak. We customized them to what we're doing here in town.
What I'm
So
trying, that's what I'm trying to do
it
is
deals
make
with
it,
like,
make
yeah.
this relevant so that you don't
Yeah.
get caught up in the fact that the state says we're gonna do these things.
yeah,
The town is looking to do these things because it's gonna
Yeah.
enhance our, and our resilience, you know, but I don't know what those things are.
yeah.
And,
okay.
and if
So that's
there
what we
are
should
certain things
highlight,
that
yeah.
you haven't come to agreement in, like providing X number of chargers in town to public places or private places, or to upgrade, you know, buildings, you know, things like that. Maybe those are the kinds of things that are gonna be a little bit more meatier, that people can understand where they're,
Yeah.
what can they support it or not?
I mean, writing those new slides up, is that we're talking about here?
Yeah,
or
so I
is there
think-
Well, I think
something
so, yeah.
I think in the new
else?
slides, if we follow Steve there, what we would do is pick out items that are pretty specific to Topsom. So, install heat pump systems for heating and cooling systems in municipal buildings. I don't know, that's something that, you know,
I'm thinking, what does it, what does a town need to do in terms of their, so climate resilience? What's our sewer and water facilities capable of doing now? How do we avoid something that like's going on in California? You know, do we, have we had those kinds of conversations with that department? You know, are they looking at this? Is it our fire department? In
Yes.
terms of, are we working with businesses to try to help them come up with ways of supporting more, car chargers at their places? You know, how are we doing in terms of just the sidewalk stuff, which I know the town is doing so that we can get out of our cars and do things like that?
yeah, we have.
Are there ways that, in this administration, we're still trying to support, this one's, you won't be able to go anywhere with it, but it's just, the fact that there may be tax incentives and stuff like that, but I probably, that's not gonna go anywhere. But I mean, I don't, cause I'm just trying to think is, okay, the town's looking ahead, and we're not so much like Hartswell or Brunswick, where they got a lot more erodible coastlines that they've got to concern ourselves with. We've got a couple roads here and culvert issues that we've got to work
We have
on.
basement flooding along
We've
the
got basement
Androscoggin River. We do have issues of sea level rise.
Yeah.
It's gonna, the whole Muddy River will become in 30 years, not a freshwater stream anymore, but a saltwater.
Well,
estuary.
you've got the neighborhoods down by, well, I can't remember the name of them, but, they've got flooding issues now.
That's right. Some of the newer houses that were
Right.
built too close to the Muddy River.
Right.
No,
But the point is I'd like to be showing, okay, this is how the plan is looking.
we're behind, Steve.
I
That
can-
was the goal, was to.
And
come up with all
I
that.
apologize because I didn't
Because
know
we've
that.
had, okay, we've had
But
right.
I think we could take those, if we go back to the
Are you Who's gonna do
statements,
it this way? We have two, we have two.
Yes,
steps.
I know.
I'm gonna do it.
I
Okay.
can work on
You
slides.
want help? We.
No, I'll just do it because I have all the graphics that we don't
Okay,
need permission to
okay.
use.
I mean, we trying to accomplish a lot in a short period of time.
It's okay. I dealt with a matrix, so I know pretty well. I'm cool with that.
But it's not like we're gonna be able to say in here that we're gonna try to have X number of percentage of our cars as EVs by 2050.
No,
Not at all.
Yeah.
We don't have a business stating that.
Yeah, and we don't, and
We're
that-
not.
it's more part of a general direction rather than a specific target, specific.
It's not a plan.
We have specific actions, but it's not like it's gotta be done by this day. We have sort of short, long and ongoing, short, medium, ongoing, whatever, efforts in here. So, yeah, we haven't done that yet, but, or we haven't done that, let's put it that way.
And I don't mean to sound critical, I know there's a lot of moving parts here, and I'm just,
But I think you're making some absolutely
Well,
excellent
I
points.
was looking to see, okay, good, I can't make the meeting, I wanna be able to help you guys support this.
Yeah. I think you're saying
Well,
things that need to be
Ever
said.
the draft's gonna come out, do we know when this is going to be? Meg, because that is on the slide for public comment, and then you can make public comments, Steve.
That's all right.
Meg, you're muted.
Remember, we made that schedule when we talked last.
Somebody just remind me, I just put 12:18 to 12:25 solicitation for public comment.
Yes.
Is that still the right time?
Yes. And it's gonna go to our planner.
Well, I mean, I wrote it here, just reconfirming.
My remembrance from when we talked about the schedule is Josh was gonna have a draft by like the 7th of February to go to whoever needed it at that point.
But, I'm sorry, I
So
can't
we-
hear you when you're mumbling.
Sorry about that, Nancy. February 7th was what I remember Josh needing to have it done by to get it put in the software
right.
for graphic
That's
design.
Yeah.
And then there wasn't any more with Meg yet?
I don't,
Geez, every time I write this schedule, I lose it someplace. Anyway, we had worked it out. I need to get it to Josh, by Friday, and he's gonna do his edits. It's gonna get, I think he said he needed like a week or two, and then it's gonna come back to the Energy Committee for your review, and I think we saved a week for that, and then it'll go to, back to the Select Board prior, like on the 28th, right? For their March 6th meeting.
March 6th.
Is the meeting, the select board meeting,
Right,
so it has to go before that,
so
I forget what date.
Yep.
I don't know what 12/18 is, but
2/18?
2/18 to
2/18.
2/25, all right, Meg, for public comment? I mean, this is me.
I'd
looking at-
rather like, I would rather just dig out my notes from I wasn't ready to, get all into that. So I'll dig out the notes from our last conversation and I will email them to you.
Okay, so we'll just double check that, but that's how I thought this was all gonna go down because it was. Everyone's looking at it.
Yeah.
But I do wanna make that
Did,
statement.
let me ask though, we did say what they were at the last meeting we had though. So was somebody taking notes on that?
This is based off my notes. that
No, I know,
looked-
but we talked, remember I was at the last meeting you had
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
just-
Mark and we said what the schedule was. And I'm just wondering, was there somebody taking notes from that?
That meeting is
I took
recorded
notes,
as is
but
all of our
I can't
meetings.
access, I'm not online,
Yeah.
so, but there
Okay.
would be a folder.
This is from me taking notes at last meeting to say
No,
12,
I understand.
25 or 2/18 to 2/25.
you're gonna get it eventually.
Yeah.
So who needs those notes from? You, from you?
Yeah,
This
I
is what
can't-
I'm gonna
I
tell the
can't access
public,
them.
so hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, then
Yeah,
we'll,
well,
Or Meg or-
they're in the folder,
Oh, okay. Okay, so anybody can access it.
yeah.
I don't know if there are meeting minutes from this workshop, though. I mean, I took notes myself and that's what I.
I think she was talking about, last month's meeting,
No,
no?
she's.
No,
talking about-
last week's meeting.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
yeah, I
That's
don't
right.
think-
But I believe that's the amount of time that I think we have to work with. I had to make something up basically here, Meg, because I didn't know. And or Sky, I didn't know how much time from the public comments to the date that it's due to the select board. That's like 3 days. So this is me putting this together for you all and hoping that this is going to work out because I don't know how long it will take you, Meg, to look at public comments.
Let's see.
For us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that would be you guys.
Or have it for the
so we have
28th
to,
or whatever day.
we have to get it to select board by the 27th. That's 1 week before the meeting.
26th, Wednesday. before.
26th, okay, all right, I forget.
No, okay.
But yeah, so by the 26th, so.
I'm not thinking that the public comments are gonna generate any large rewrites, but they are gonna give us information, on how. Where people are at, we're gonna be, talking with the select board and, making our case, hoping that they're gonna, send this thing to the warrant, so. I'm not sure there's really time for any, like, oh my God, we forgot this, or, for a lot of writing. You know what I mean, Meg?
Like major revisions.
Yeah, I wouldn't anticipate.
Yeah, I think it's more, for us to get the pulse and.
Yeah, we're not really looking for edits at that point.
Right. Right.
So if Josh is done on the 7th with his edits. Right?
Yeah, that's what I
Josh is the
told.
goal. Okay, so the 7th is the goal for Josh's edits. And then the energy committee would have a week to look at that. Through the 14th. And then it's available to the public,
The next
There's-
week, yeah.
like the 15th through, I mean, you know, like, I just want to work backwards to make sure everyone has time.
We'd have to, if we're doing the 15th, I guess we'd have to post it the Friday evening, Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I leave at 3 on Fridays. I'm sorry, I'm actually just, so what are the comments? So if Josh gets it by the 7th, what are you guys reviewing for at that point? Because you've reviewed the content at this point, and I think given really good comments. So I just want to understand this because we have a tight timeline. What are you guys going to be reviewing for at that point? Because it helps me understand if Josh needs to do things.
Oh, yeah.
I think that we're just waiting for the public comment stuff to come back, and then we would review it before it goes to select board, right?
Okay, so do you guys need time to review it after Josh finishes it? Because what Josh does is
No,
just
I
makes
don't-
it look pretty. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, so does Meg need to do anything with it after Josh is done?
I
No?
mean, Meg does something,
No.
sends it to Josh,
Okay,
Josh makes it look
okay.
like a plan.
Okay, great.
And then at that point, I think we're saying, oh, it's going back to energy committee, but I'm
I don't think
thinking,
so.
I don't know if it
Yeah.
needs to, because you guys have done your substantive
Well, so-
minutes.
That's a
good.
that's a good point. And we have a, you know, a Google Doc that we have good edits, you know, people are editing and, you know, so, and that's going to be the document that goes to Josh. So we can say, you know, that document will be available to review. And then it will go to Josh.
We really could post it to the
Yeah.
public on Monday, the 10th.
Or the
Right.
7th, if Josh finishes it on the
Well,
7th.
I don't want to push it. I
Look,
mean,
you're right.
If
Let's
he, if
say
he's
we can.
finished, that's
Oh,
great.
but does anyone need to review it when he's done is my point, or does,
No.
does planning finish it and then planning posts it?
Yeah.
Is the question there.
I
'Cause
think
He's
if
not
he-
changing the words, if he's just making it look.
Yeah, he's
you
just
know,
doing
then-
what Meg
Then,
will tell him.
as
to.
soon as he's done, why not
Yeah,
put it out there?
And where is this gonna be on the web for my neighbors to read?
it's gonna be,
On the
well,
website.
it's gonna be on the climate action, I mean, on the energy committee's page, but I don't know the exact
It will
link
be
yet.
on go to the town, page and find energy committee. It's not easy to find that.
There's energy
I
committee
was still
and there's
going.
climate
It's
action.
right
There's
up.
climate- Yeah, there's also a page for climate action
Energy
plan.
Committee Topsham.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right,
Just the
so
easiest.
maybe we should give ourselves some grace here and say Monday, the 10th.
Well, but I'm just,
Posting.
if the grace is him, that's fine. I'm just wondering if it needs to go to someone when he's done with it. That's my
It doesn't
question.
sound like it,
So as soon as he's done with it, I'm good to post it.
yeah.
That's all that question is.
Yeah.
If he needs until the 10th, I really appreciate that grace, though, you know, we don't do anything over the weekend.
No,
Yeah,
but just that if you're still working
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it on
that's-
Friday, like, don't rush it and then.
Yeah.
it gets
That's
screwed up
fine and appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure he doesn't need to send it to someone and then
Yeah.
there's comments. It's just he's done and then it gets
Yeah.
posted
I
for
think
public.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you know, what, the acknowledgements page is not done, you know, the table of contents is not done, but you know, the bulk of the comments have been incorporated. There's some little here and there that I'll try to fix up tomorrow. So the thing we're waiting on, you know, mostly is the list of
Yeah.
actions.
And I think if there's a couple of things like acknowledgements or something like that that aren't done, you know, before the 10th or by the 10th, you know, we can add them to the plan before we send it to the select board. So I don't think that's a major stumbling
Yeah.
block, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And I think
coup-
there's some too, there's some, you know, at this point, it's pretty well, we've had the comments and the input from the committee, you know, so I'm just hoping that people won't, you know, get into every tiny thing about it, you know, kind of all over again. Because I think, you know, we need to just kind of, it's good, let it go.
Okay, so let's say that the solicitation for public comment is Monday, February 10th through the 17th, which is a Monday.
Also President's Day, but yeah.
So then
Give
we
them to the,
change this
give
fine.
them to
We
the
won't be
18th.
here.
'cause we're-
Okay, so public comment will close of business on the 17th, whatever.
Start of business on the
Yeah.
18th.
Yeah,
And then if there are some edits, we will get to look at them. We might even want to move our February meeting up. I just want to give us some time, Meg, if there are some, and Sky, if there are some things that we'd like to change from
No, I
the
think that's,
comments?
I think that's a great idea to have public comment and give yourself the opportunity to take it. I don't know the schedule off the top of my head and I have Zoom running here, so I don't wanna check it, but if there is an open room in the town that I shouldn't have a problem moving it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we might wanna, I mean, the thing is that we can have our normal meeting, which is the 25th,
but that gives us one day to.
and then it's due the next day,
Yeah,
so.
unless we can be disciplined enough to,
Oh, 18th is, yeah.
I'm
Should we check on the
guessing
18th or-
Topsham Housing Authority is meeting in this room that night, but you could have downstairs probably.
Sorry, what day?
The 18th, the Tuesday.
That, but we wouldn't have, okay, yeah. 'cause
Oh,
it's
sorry, I
closed,
just kind
yeah,
of
'cause the
assumed you were
comments have-
thinking that one, yeah. But if it's another
Will-
day of the week, will the
Will all
town,
the comments be consolidated though in that amount of time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if you're getting emails and
yeah,
you probably
Yeah.
need a minute to like get them together after a holiday.
so let's talk about how the comments are coming in and then what we're doing with them when we get them, because that'll just influence my answer to that question.
All I got is email Sky. That's all
Okay.
I got.
Yeah, because we posted them. And then I don't have the time to put them into the document. Like in any kind of, like I can aggregate emails and send them to one of you, but I don't have the time to put that together and stuff. That does take a lot of time.
You can send it to me, for example.
Yeah, if one
I
of you
could
wants to volunteer to
be glad
aggregate
to.
data, that's fine.
I'd be glad to.
Oh, good.
That would be something I could
That's fine.
do
with me.
easily. So we have to figure out how to work this thing. I'm used to a mouse.
Okay, then Jackie, how much time do you want to work on doing that?
Okay, I would get them on the 18th.
I mean, I'll send them to you as I get them, is all I'll
Oh,
say.
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Send them to me as you get them. I would have them by the end of the day on the 18th, I would think. I don't have anything on my calendar that day.
Okay, so you're gonna work on all of that and then share out,
I will, yeah.
there's usually availability to meet like 4:30 to 6 on Thursdays. It's not planning board for me, so it's not an issue. There's usually an open room.
yeah, actually, that makes sense because that gives us a couple of days to read the
Right,
list and look at them.
Yep.
And then we'd have the 20th, the meeting on the 20th, yeah.
Right.
That makes
I think,
sense.
I think that's
Okay.
fine. I haven't
Yeah,
double checked the
well,
calendar. I
These
can
are all
check
pencil-
mine.
These are all pencil.
Yeah.
okay,
Just penciling in things at the moment, so. Yeah, that makes
all
sense.
right, let's do that.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
thanks, Jackie.
no problem.
Okay,
I love organizing
Right.
things. Really.
all right, did you capture all that?
Nope. And you read that?
Can you please put down that on 2/20, we're moving our February meeting to 2/20. It's a Thursday, 4:30 to 6:30, and also
4:30 to 6.
4:30 to 6.
Yeah, if it's your normal meeting time. Just
4:30
if
to
the
6.
select board's doing anything, it's good for them to have that half hour buffer.
Mhm. Okay,
And this will be to review public comment.
yes,
Right.
note something that Jackie's gonna
Yep.
be giving us the comments
Yep.
on the 18th.
Got it.
All right. And public comment is 2:10 through 2:17. Okay,
Can you just change that?
So,
now
see that.
can we get back to the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other comments do you guys have on this? And if they're in the section that you're gonna say, you know, you feel free to get around to it later, but I feel like if you're making this much longer or adding things that we didn't all discuss, that we should actually talk about that. But if it's just like, I don't like saying it this way, or rather have
Right.
that sentence first and like weird stuff like that.
I have several little, they're not big. On slide 5, I would like to add, we are a group of residents with a very diverse background, including add retirees in there, please.
Oh, Yeah, in the notes.
Retirees, okay,
I'm gonna, page 5, or, I'm gonna add, outreach to senior centers, low income senior centers.
exactly where?
Oh, and how is the community involved? Another bullet point,
Oh, okay.
outreach to Western House, landing. River landing.
Westbrook.
To senior, low income. Building smart building.
Steve just picked up on something, page 7, there's a 2024 date.
Yes, that was one of mine.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
tripped out.
We can
I said,
try, but I don't think we're gonna make that.
I think we have a little bit of problem unless you know how to go back.
I haven't figured that one out yet. We should.
2045.
Right.
The other outreach I did was to Sandilands, Augusta Road and Trailer Park, near the 295. I was unable to get into the more staff and pending meeting. Trailer Park. But no, we didn't ever got through to them, did we, Nick? We tried.
Right.
Yeah.
I was curious, where are we on the process and next steps, which are the same? Does it make sense for us to reiterate those?
That was one of my comments. as
Sorry,
well.
which page?
Well, page,
Slide
2,
11.
3, 4, and 11, are the same set of steps.
Mm,
Um,
Oh,
Does it make
No, I did
sense
it that
to-
way to just be like,
just to drill it in. I mean, I think it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it. I just wondered what everybody thinks about that.
Is it duplicated? Is it necessary?
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like you can just say, hey, keep in mind, as we said before.
Yeah.
Here's what's happening next.
yeah, it can be it could
So
just be
I-
like the last slide, it's, just
Yeah.
reiterates the schedule, that's, yeah.
I think it's
that's okay.
fine to do that. That's
Yeah, but we don't have to spend more than
yeah, no.
a few seconds
mere
on it.
seconds on it.
I made some changes to I updated the dates on the,
On
on the actual presentation, so.
Okay.
To let you know.
I'm not quite sure how we change this, but
What
on
page?
on slide 6, what stayed the same in the plan? You start right off with, updated, the greenhouse gas, which is a change. And so, I don't know if that needs to go under the,
It just means that they already had a greenhouse gas
okay.
thing in the 2012 one and we're keeping it, but it's updated. We
that-
didn't
that
take
I-
it out, it's not
To me,
new.
right,
It's much more detailed now.
yeah,
So kept and updated the
yeah,
greenhouse.
kept and updated,
Yeah, that would be
fine.
good, yeah.
But I would also not start with that so much, it is, I like to continue to identify, maintains the goal. And I'd like to use the same, starting with the verb as you do with, 1, 2, 3, 3 of them. Start with the verb on all 4, having.
Go ahead and provide exactly what you want.
Maintains the goal. Take plan out. It's just the idea of keeping this, I forget what the term is called in English, but
Active, yeah, or, yeah,
where you're starting
You're doing
everything
a
with the
picture.
same kind of
I am.
Okay,
usage.
so
I
is
won't then.
maintains the only one that you,
That's the only one, except for where it said,
Change
kept is
yeah,
fine.
kept and updated?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think it'd be helpful to put the two things about greenhouse
Kept and
gas
updated.
Oh,
emissions
right, thank you.
together.
Yep, that would
Maybe
be
bring the
another,
first one down, be the
Yep.
third instead.
yes,
the
They're-
first one
they're
to be
both-
the third,
They'll be
okay.
thinking about that at the same time if they read them both together.
yes,
We updated the
That's
greenhouse
good.
gas emissions.
So we'll do kept and update the greenhouse gas emission second to last.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Got it?
and that one, and page eight. Oh, on slide 8, this is where I also thought about, relating the action items in 2012. To read my own notes here. The action items that we're suggesting now, how they relate to 2012, but I'm not sure we have time to mess with that. But it's the kind of thing where I know when I look at something that's happened and then I'm looking at something that's coming up to see where they match and where specific progress has been made and just trying to highlight that a little bit more. But at this point, maybe not.
I mean, are you trying to ask like where what we've been working on fits within the 2012 plan?
Mhm. You know, to say like, the 2012 plan said we wanted to do this, this, and this, and these are the things, and here are the things that we did. Because what it says is we had a wish, we had a desire to do something, and we did it. But they, you know, maybe just a different heading up at the top. Or an additional thing. It's not a big enough thing to spend hours on, that's for sure.
we could
You're
just,
talking about what the energy committee is doing here. I think it
Yeah.
might be, both sort of politically tactful to say the
The t-
town has been
Yes.
upgrading its culverts in these 6 places.
Yes, yeah,
And, to reduce flooding.
yeah,
Including a major, at the end of Tedford Road where it runs into 24.
because what I think it says is that, look, this is what's happened so far, you can trust us to move us forward. And, so, you know, trying to make them feel like it's worthwhile to vote for this thing, because this group of people is trying to make that happen. A lot of words.
Enlarging culverts has been one of the most important things Nature Conservancy and the state has been encouraging to deal with the larger rainfalls. And the flooding. And I think I have a list of them if you want it specifically, but I'll give you the right number.
Yeah.
Like 6 different ones I paid.
How many couples did you say?
How many culverts? I think it was almost 6. There's the one down here, there's the Tedford one, and there's several other there's a hanging one on Out River Road, hanging culvert.
They fixed that one by now, haven't they?
oh,
Well,
yeah.
These
the
are
old-
all,
These are ones
these
we've
are all
already
things
done.
that ongoing,
Oh,
that they've
okay.
already done.
Ongoing,
The
those are
climate action
completed.
recommendations.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
here for
wait a minute, so
making
they're
the
already
flooding.
done, but you're mentioning them, but how many more to be done?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
You have to talk to the public works department.
But that's been mapped by the Nature Conservancy.
That's right, that information could be shared with our,
Yeah,
that's a good idea with our
I
public
mean,
works.
that would be
but to
something.
say specifically, this many
This is
more
where
needs to
we're
be
going.
done, yeah.
And it's like same thing, I'm looking here at number 10 and you're talking about the fact that you guys, you know, got these charging stations at the library. You were able to say the amount of how often, what's their use, you know?
Mm.
I mean, is there a measure of how much they're being used during when they're available.
It's not a commonly used charging company that we got to do it, so it's not the big one that people already have.
Oh, so it's a
System to
Tesla,
pay to.
some, they
No, no.
get,
If you
No,
have
it's
to
just the
sign up
company-
for a
it's the-
new provider to.
You
be
have
able
to log
use
into a different app and everything.
oh, so it's not.
It's,
So maybe, so we're working to resolve that though, hopefully,
well, yeah, it's,
one step at a time.
yeah,
How
there,
about, how about the next one then?
there's
With
so
the
many
fire
com-
department, can the fire departments, can you have, say something that the fire department really likes their new tools? You know,
They do,
Yeah,
they love their new
there's some
tools.
really good
I mean,
ideas.
it's just something that, this is not, you just done it, but it's a, you know,
yeah,
they found.
And we're working with the mowing equipment for public works.
Yeah.
Nick's been working, trying to get experience from Brunswick and other towns, how electric mowers are working and how they can be charged. So that's it. I think that's an opening that's happening here.
Yeah, I know, I shifted all mine and I don't have to deal with carburetor issues anymore.
yeah, I agree.
And just, is it possible to say, even to say, for example, on the emergency response tools? I have no idea what emergency response tools are.
Neither do I, but when you have to put something down, that's what you put down.
I'm not, and I'm not.
I've
believe me,
asked for specifics and I don't have any, so.
This,
There-
Like, if someone wants to email me, I can connect you with the fire department to get details on it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
It's-
sure there's a
Mark
comment
knows.
about it. Meg has it in the draft.
it's probably like, stuff that used to get into
It is.
vehicles, if,
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They have a
Just
chainsaw, I
even
know they have a
EG.
chainsaw.
and that's,
I don't think we need to put all this in the slides, but in the background.
in the comments.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we
I
would
mean,
put
if
it-
I got asked a question, I'd be
Yeah.
going,
I think,
Well,
I think it's what it's the
wrote it
one that
down,
puts
there's
the cars
something to
apart.
say.
They're
You guys
very
can-
powerful.
Cool.
And they
To
don't
it,
require hooking them up to a generator
Right.
to operate the hydraulics, so.
I just think that the more specific we can be about things that were done, the more credibility we have.
Well, it's back to the fire department, so they're saying this is good, it's always a nice thing, everybody likes fire trucks.
On the back side. No.
I apologize, because I do feel like I'm just throwing stuff here,
No,
you
no.
guys have been working hard on this, I
No,
know.
no, it's good to have more
Yeah, it's great.
input.
Oh,
Absolutely.
PNC should have that
Here,
information.
never mind, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on the, no, maybe I'm wrong. I was gonna say the Coastal Risk Explorer. There's a,
you're right, yeah, I
I
think
don't
you're
know
right.
if all the culverts are listed on there, but it, in theory, should be on that map.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we need to say exactly how many culverts or just that they've been being replaced?
I mean, even one example, just one example, for example.
Tedford. is the
Yeah,
Big one. They
just-
did a whole
right.
bunch of reconstruction there and sidewalk as well.
Yeah.
Tedford, Route 24 intersection is the big one, and also the bottom of the hill on Main Street before the bridge. That was.
Yeah,
Now,
right off
that
Elm
was-
Street,
I put
too.
in a whole new.
Okay.
Tied up Highland traffic
wastewater
for weeks.
receiving.
Anything else?
Does anybody have a phone number for the electric charger at the library? Cause I'll call and try to find out how much use has happened.
Oh, the librarian,
Yeah,
The
the
li-
library
think
would
they-
know.
Do they keep track?
yeah,
of
they
that?
do, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'll call it up.
At least the prior librarian was keeping track, I don't. But
At least the who?
the prior librarian
Yeah, she
was
just
taking,
retired.
tracking it, but
She's left. We have a
Yes,
we have a new
yes.
director.
yes.
So ask the library. They can have, they'd have casual observations, if not actual.
Yeah.
Records.
Would you like me to share the matrix, or are you guys still working on the presentation?
We should. We do it.
Gonna
So
go.
move on.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yes, please, Scott. All right, so I only did a little work on this because I wanted everyone else to weigh in. So anything in green has been updated. So I've got Mark's comments here. His comment about, what the heck cars were they talking
EVs.
about? No, he was talking about,
Alternative fuel vehicles?
well,
Yeah.
specifically, he was talking about hydrogen powered vehicles.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think that this new language covers that.
Okay.
Just fine. Zero emission vehicles. Being on line 5. Line 6. Nothing wrong with evaluating options. I suggest substituting alternative fuel vehicles. I just can, been consistent with the zero emission
Yeah.
vehicles. Line 7 was, this comment was, I don't recommend the town getting the charging business. Well, I guess I missed the memo on what happened at the library. So,
we're not really in. the
that's
churches.
just there.
Well, and the public, that's public.
Yes, it
And
is.
who else is gonna do it if the town isn't doing it?
Okay,
And-
they don't do anything that costs money. We
Yeah.
got a grant for that, so the charging stations are gonna go in, we're gonna have to apply for more grants. That's,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what he's saying,
Yeah.
and we know that.
And
Oh, I kind of.
so we've already done it. And I think that there are a lot more opportunities out there, and I don't think taking this out makes sense because
I agree.
at some point, we are looking for tourism. What about if they're the rec center, the community center? I mean, there's just to nix it and to not have it
Yeah,
in
no,
there,
that's-
it doesn't
Yeah.
harm anything, and we're explaining in this thing here that we got a grant and we did it, and we know how to
Yeah.
vet these things, and we are not boobs. And it's
But-
making the town modest revenue stream.
A comment,
We get a lot of these.
unfortunately, there's probably not gonna be more federal money for.
Well, we don't know what happens
But
after
the state-
4
the
years.
state would support that, and there's
All
gonna
right.
still be some big money.
All right, so line 8, which is adopt ordinances to encourage electric charging infrastructure, including at municipal buildings, rather, families, multifamily business and parking lot areas.
Recode, is Recode working on this?
Yeah, it's part of it's in the recode, so.
Okay,
But
so-
He says Recode's already considering this. I think we should leave it there, which I think he means don't put it in here because it's going
that's
to
how I
Recode,
interpret
which
it.
hasn't been
well,
blessed.
but we've
So,
given it, we've given it credit that Recode's doing it, that's
Yeah.
the agency doing it. So
Yeah,
That's just,
well, I think that they're still worried that it's not gonna stay in there.
Well, if it
So-
doesn't stay in there, then it doesn't stay in there, but.
but
You know, I
we
think it
still
needs to
wanna
be
put
part
it
of
in the
the
plan.
plan.
I mean, we need to do this kind of stuff. It's not,
Yeah.
whether it gets in recode or gets in another version, I don't care, but we gotta do that.
yeah, exactly, it's not repetitive to say what
Yeah.
needs to get done.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
Not the time to edit.
every year for sure.
Okay, so we are all in agreement. Let's just move on because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
literally a lot and I'm
go
sorry,
ahead,
but
go ahead. Yeah,
I don't have any more chocolate. Actually, I do. I have one. Okay.
Oh,
Line 11, if we adopt a okay, so line 11 is, I changed that
no,
one
they start to get.
because,
out of
I took
line.
exactly what was from the dot thing. That's exactly what the dot
Yep,
thing said, so that's that, people voted on it, and we all know that
right.
management looked at that list before we even put it out, and that was
Right.
agreed to be put out there, so that's
Right.
that one.
Right.
12 is fine,
Very,
13. I had already graded out as something to take out. And last time we went through that, so it was already grayed out, so we don't need to talk about that.
Okay,
14 was a recode situation. His comment is this is already being addressed by recode, probably better to leave it there as there are other things that come into play with the density of development which are not being accounted for in this line item or public water sewer to be available to be dense. I'm not, I don't,
I don't get that, but I think we've got there is fine. I don't get the concept that somehow or another. It's not, I mean, I don't know, it's so that it's in recode, that's great, but. It still needs to, I mean, we're
I
just
also
saying,
feel like if one committee is gonna need support for a particular initiative, if it's in multiple plans,
yeah,
it's gonna have more weight.
yeah, and
So I think it's important to leave things in that we support, even if they're not something that we have primary responsibility
Yeah.
for.
Right.
I mean,
And it was in the 2012 cap,
Yeah,
so
Which one?
what's he got to argue with? that?
14, yeah, 14 is fine. I just,
Okay.
we're, you know,
15 is fine, he says. 16, impact fees makes things more expensive. Housing less affordable, business less willing to invest. I recommend leaving this out.
I
which one
disagree.
is that? 16.
but you know,
How does that actually play out?
So this one at the
Real
workshop,
life.
it ranked 5th place. So I feel like if we're being fair to the people who came to vote on stuff,
Mhm.
that's why it should stay.
yeah,
the
but
people
also,
are-
I mean, impact fees don't always make things more expensive. They make things more expensive if they're happening in the wrong place or the wrong type of development.
Exactly, the whole
If you
purpose
do
of
it in the
impact.
right way, it's a way to sort of incentivize development and the what we want
Exactly.
rather than stuff we don't want. So
Exactly.
it doesn't have to make it expensive. So anyway,
Yeah,
that's
I
that's
agree.
my,
So I just have one note about that. Energy committee isn't listed on there. It would probably be good for you guys to be listed because I wouldn't know what you would want for climate action impact fees. That would be a huge amount of research. You've put yourself on a lot of other ones. This one seems like one where you might make sense.
okay,
Sure.
Right,
yeah,
good call,
I'll do it. In
yeah.
Okay.
fact, that it might even be Conservation Commission, depending on exactly,
Mm,
We'll put us both down.
yeah,
yeah,
because it depends on where we're talking about.
sure.
I would wonder if it should be planning and EC and then conservation and
Yeah,
planning board personally.
I'm sorry. Oh, we should be easy first. I see.
I just,
Yeah, no,
it seems
that's,
like something that you guys would
yeah,
do well with.
that sounds fine.
All right. His comment on lines 17 through 24 is have largely already been done. I think these lines could be condensed into one, which says something to the effect of evaluate municipal buildings to see if there are energy efficiencies which could be implemented, which reduce usage and save money. New buildings, upgrades, or system replacements should evaluate all possible technologies to find the most energy and effective solution. I think that's way too much for one thing, and I think that all of these things are individual
I think it's
things.
important to highlight individual buildings myself.
Mm.
And he's
I
not saying to
disagree
take them
with
out, so I think that just keeping them,
I think that's good. I think that all should be in there.
okay. Line 25. Fine as long as sponsor means energy committee providing info and not the town subsidizing window insulation upgrades in private homes. Line 25 certainly shows that energy committee is taking the lead.
Yeah,
I think town manager is on there because if we ever were to get a grant or something where you can subsidize these things, but you had to have some sort of avenue to get them the rebate check or whatever the thing is. I mean, I know that's a huge lift, but they do need to be involved.
right,
Yeah,
right.
So it does, I mean, we are the lead,
They have to
so
probe-
I think he
probe the
just
process.
might not be noticing that.
I think he's
And
just
And isn't there,
concerned that it's
isn't there
asking
an
for a budget line
organization?
item.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's that?
I think he's concerned it might ask for a budget line item, which it sounds like you're not interested in, so you could just
Yeah.
clarify that if you wanted
Just
to
say.
get at it.
And isn't,
He's concerned that the word sponsor means that you'll put it in the budget that we have to provide window installations per year.
okay,
Oh, right, okay.
That's an
Um,
educational activity, basically.
What else do you guys want to say
Right,
instead of
and the-
sponsor? Support?
is it,
How about just the word
Oh,
support?
I just leave it at support.
Yeah, just
Uh,
support.
support.
but isn't there an organization?
Yeah. it's
That
the
does
window-
windows,
Yes.
Yeah, window dresser.
window
Yeah.
dressers, exactly,
Change
and
it to, or
Oh,
someone
yeah.
could change that.
We
to
could say, just say support and encourage,
okay.
you know, or something like
Yeah.
that, you know, window
Yeah,
installation
support
upgrade.
and encourage window.
It's a lot of work
installation.
to organize one of those.
Oh,
And if
for
you have
sure.
materials and supplies, it's worthwhile.
Okay.
I know the person.
it's very,
All
yeah,
right,
I
line
can't spell.
27.
Be committed to being hands-on and help build.
All right, sorry, we've just got a lot. 27, he says, remove, I already had it grayed out, we've already talked about it.
Mhm.
28 through 30 he says is all fine, but I had grayed out 28 and 29. There's been
Well-
conflicting information if if we're a CPACE community, so I say don't talk about it, because I don't.
I think the CPACE, that it was a 5% loan for businesses to renewable
Yeah.
energy. Did you use that when you connected? When you that loan process when you don't, but I think it's a good program, I think we should have it, and it's, the town has.
Well, it's confusing because it doesn't seem like anyone truly knows the answer if we are one or not. So I'm gonna say we need to take it
I
out.
didn't hear that. Nobody.
I'm getting conflicting information from the town staff and management that don't jive with each other, so I say we're not gonna mention it, cause I don't have clarity on
Yeah.
if that's happening.
I agree.
Okay, so that's not happening.
And,
Support for the
is-
regular professional development for code.
well,
whatever.
Tom Lister's comments were is that, we're already signed up.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to worry about that. I think that's a requirement for him.
Yeah, so do we wanna just keep it
Just-
gray and not include it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
yes.
I can
Yeah,
see
great.
I don't understand why it's not happening, the town just.
No, it already is happening, but it's not really worth our while to put it in here.
It's a
It's
requirement
required.
that he.
Line
take certain
33,
certain courses.
He
every year,
says-
so,
this was already done in the plan, correct? Conduct a baseline energy, yes, it is already done.
Yeah.
So can you gray that one out?
I'm sorry, which one?
Gray out 33, please.
Huh?
That's just like the one doing the
Oh.
vulnerability assessment, we're already doing that.
Oh, right,
So-
okay, yes, I get you.
Gray that one out, 34, he wants that one removed,
Okay, I'm sorry.
and I already had it grayed out, so it's removed. 35 is fine, 36 is fine, but it's really a header,
Well,
so I'm not
Wait
sure.
a minute, that's what confused Mark, that's
38
not
through
an action,
40.
it's a category.
I
Yeah, it's
know.
just a header.
38 through 40 is fine with, 42 through 44. His comment is, we have a long-term contract in place. We usually have trouble using all of our electricity credits. There isn't a need to have another facility, whether on town-owned property or not. Maybe switch all of this to quote, as current long-term PPA nears expiration, evaluate whether it benefits the town to locate a renewable energy project on municipal property.
What the public wanted was solar collectors on the town building, and they don't realize that we don't need extra solar power. So it's
So
not a good idea.
42 is, we got that approved with the work plan.
Fine, which,
The
so,
feasibility study.
yeah, so his comments were on, I'm sorry, which line?
Is 42 through 44.
Oh,
So
all of them,
that
oh,
was
I see.
42, so 43. Install renewable energy projects on municipal property, i.e. rooftop, parking lot, landfill, weather protection area, rec fields. He's saying, and then 44, what's the 40?
I think he meant 41 through 43, that's
Yeah.
just my
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, 42 is
Oh, yeah,
nothing
because the
about,
PPA.
yeah, 42 is nothing about whether the town is actually using the power. It's just, we might get a lease payment from.
Right,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
if we've got
there's no
open land
reason
and we're
not
not,
to-
especially something that's
Yeah.
gray, I mean, not gray, we're on
Brownfield.
Brownfield.
brownfield,
Yeah,
then why not?
and that's
Yeah.
something we could use the CRP money to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that one should stay. The maintain, so this one says, maintain a long-term service contract or power purchase agreement where possible, supply our own renewable power, ensuring a majority of municipal electricity is from a local renewable energy sources.
I
This
think
one
that's-
here is like, you're gonna have the new community center. You're gonna have opportunities to go after tax credits and different programs, and why would we? The town of Bodenham, we have a PPA, they have a PPA, they're looking at getting their own solar because they're gonna save over $100,000.
Yeah.
And I've done the math that shows you showing that you still get your 15% through Nextamp versus owning your own.
Now, this is.
We've been
this
through
is
this,
Town of
we've been
Topsham.
through this presentation
Town
more
of
than once.
Topsham signed a PPA in 2020.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
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 Okay.
And that's gonna go
So-
for how many years?
It doesn't make any
20
sense to
years.
nix something that makes more financial sense, and we need to have that conversation eventually, so I think that needs to stay. And
Actually, we could say long-term
The
instead of
the funding would come from, a
Say
grant.
long-term.
yes,
on,
okay,
instead
sorry.
of saying
Victor, what?
ongoing, instead of ongoing, say long-term, just to sort of clarify.
Well, it's ongoing that we're maintaining the
Well, maintain,
PPA.
yeah, okay, I see what you mean, yeah, never
Yeah.
mind, sorry. Okay,
Any more heartburn over these?
I don't think so, because there was a lot of, people that think that's a good idea that live in this town, so. I mean, the details, need to be worked out. And the Energy Committee is in a good position to think stuff up and present it, and, you know, our history is presenting things that save the town money, so.
So I think his numbers are weird, but 47.
Yeah, they
he
start to get
says
out of
fine,
whack.
and 50 says it's fine.
You know. That statement that you just made, Nick, should go in this document somewhere. The history of the Energy Committee is to save the town, has been to save the town significant money.
I'm sure that comment will be said multiple times
Okay.
once the public gets into it. All right,
Yeah.
line 51
Absolutely.
removed, so let's just make sure it's the right one. I think he means 50.
Yeah.
It says
Actually think he means 49.
increase water access in public spaces.
Just because
Well, that was already grayed out.
yeah, but he didn't take that into account in his comments.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so, well, 51 talks about 30%, so it is that
Yeah.
one, number 50.
So, yeah, they get off by
So
one.
51, he means 50, and it is removed. This would not only have a large upfront charge, but takes property off the tax rolls and makes housing all the more unaffordable. High value areas are already being conserved by the town, state, and local nonprofits. I don't think we want a blanket requirement to serve 30% of town by 2030.
actually,
That's
there isn't enough money, state money, to conserve 30% of the
It's
town.
not happening.
Yeah, so I mean.
It's a goal.
That's actually
It's a
right
goal, I know, but
from-
I'm just saying
Yeah.
that we can't rely on the state and Brunswick Tossam Land Trust or whatever
Yeah.
to conserve the land for us. There's stuff we've got to do on our own, as a town.
And that 30% is actually from Maine Way. right?
Yeah,
Is this
But
related?
If this is gonna be like this huge sticking point, I mean, we're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the land trust is gonna do what they're gonna do, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. Just take the 30% out.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yes, that might make it more palatable.
You know,
Conserving
To,
as,
conservation plans of conserving land in the community.
yes.
I don't know, we can
Is
work
this
with it.
anything that's coming up in your natural areas mapping
well,
project?
we're not actually, well, we haven't written the plan yet, but I'm not sure about setting a goal, but I know there are areas that we're really focused on, and we want to make sure that we do conserve those. I haven't
Well,
figured out
maybe-
what the percentage
maybe
is yet.
That needs to say specific areas without naming them, but just
Yeah.
say that there are specific areas.
Yeah, we could say, incorporate, goal.
Well, it says it pretty well with the priority of addressing conservation gaps related to biodiversity, high
Yeah.
biodiversity
Yeah.
areas.
So
under
just
the
take
law.
out all the stats,
Just
take out the
take
timeline,
the-
keep
yeah.
the general stuff in there.
Right.
yep, I think taking
Have
out
it
the
go-
30% would be appropriate to me then.
Have a goal
I
and
mean, we don't know,
prior.
we don't know right now how much. of
Can
our
we
land
just
is
say it
there.
out loud? What it's gonna say?
Incorporate goal into conservation plans of conserving.
How about just put a priority on addressing conservation gaps?
With a priority on addressing conservation
Yeah.
gaps. So just take out the
From 30%.
30% by 2030, that whole
Yeah,
part of the sentence.
And probably.
I think it would be
got developed
stronger to
town
say priority.
property could go to,
All right, what does it say now, Victor?
I'm sorry, hold on, let me just make that change. Okay. How does that work?
Yeah,
Serving
good.
land, maybe I should say,
Conserving land or conserving.
Conserving lands with a priority on.
Yeah.
addressing.
Yes,
sorry, I took out too much there, sorry.
no, that's fine.
Sorry.
Just when you play around, sometimes you have to change the grammar.
Yeah, yeah. I just say conserving land, okay,
Okay. Says 52 is fine, which I think is 51. 53, I'm not sure if it's the right one. I suggest reworking so that we are protecting high value conservation areas, not just areas that flood. People aren't going to build in areas that flood anyway for personal economic reasons and or wetland protection laws, ordinances, not much point buying land that won't get developed anyway.
He's on
Um,
52, I
It's a
think.
good point, it's on 52, if you just take out the and flood prone areas, I think he makes a valid point. You can't really.
well,
develop in
there,
the floodplain.
well, the thing is that there are parcels that, around the Muddy River, they're fairly large. And so somebody could buy a portion of that parcel and build on it. The thing is that the current flood maps are inaccurate.
That's true.
And so they end up building where it is going to get flooded in 20 years.
Yep.
And so you really want to conserve the majority of the parcel, not just
Yep.
with the parts that are already clearly, flood prone.
Victor, do you know where that 100 acres that Brunswick Topsham Land Trust?
It's
just
right at the head of
purchased
the Muddy River.
On the Muddy, is it south side of it? Is it
It's at the head of the Muddy River. It's at the-
where it goes into the estuary,
No,
the salt?
No, it's
It's
the other
it's
end.
at-
upper,
it's
it's
at-
the upper
it's at
part,
the-
it's the upper part.
the headwaters of the
Okay, I
All
wonder.
right, are we good
Yeah.
with keeping this the way it is?
Yeah.
Okay,
And that is a perfect example. There probably could have been 20 homes in there. Right now, they may be okay, but I don't know what's gonna happen in 20 or 30 or 40
Yeah,
years,
Good point.
So
And developers don't care what's happening in
Right.
20 to 40.
they're
years.
out.
this one says
They
line
got their money and they're gone.
Exactly.
50. Line 54, I leave at develop. We don't want to commit to funding a plan without knowing the cost.
That's the swap shop. He just
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
No,
us
that's the
to say-
invasive species, actually.
It's such a good idea.
What's that?
It's invasive species management plan. He's just saying take out.
Oh,
and
right,
fund.
right.
Oh,
You
right.
know,
People said they want this.
Yeah, I mean,
That was high.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're not talking about like hundreds of thousands of dollars here. We're talking about a couple of
I
thousand
think we
dollars.
want it to get done.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
kind of a couple $1,000s at the most for somebody with, invasive species, with, what's the word I'm looking for?
Don't forget that they
SSI.
identify that those invasive species have to be identified. That was, I made that comment.
The Brunswick Topsham Land Trust, I did 2 workshops this summer, helping them on their own lands
Mhm.
remove invasive species. And it's time consuming and it's expensive and it has to be repeated. It can't be
It's
just
kind of
done once.
never ending.
And it's
Right.
really clear
For some
what
of
the
the
invasive
things.
species are. But it's a question is who's gonna do the work? And are you asking our public works to do that? I mean, it's a
No,
legitimate question.
No, I think that, again, that's something that volunteers,
You have to have experts leading it. It's not just
Granted.
great.
granted.
And they're not within the department right now. You'd have to hire somebody from outside.
well, actually, there are 5 people in the Conservation Commission who can help lead any
Oh,
of those.
good.
Exactly.
Thank you.
We all know invasive species.
Okay.
So
You're
do you want it
willing
to just be
volunteer.
develop
And I've
and
been
forget the
trained
word
in that
fund
for
or
iPad.
what?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I mean, yeah, develop and conduct, maybe develop and conduct,
Should,
Okay,
develop
should fund be in there?
no,
plan.
that's what we're saying to take out.
Oh, this is for,
Develop and conduct.
well, actually, no,
invasive
I'm sorry, that
species
doesn't quite work, but
management.
yeah, let's say to develop an invasive species management plan for public lands.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds fine,
Thank
I
you.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that people are concerned about that.
I'm biting my tongue on that one.
And what,
Yeah.
I don't know you, so explain.
No, because everything you're saying is, it's an important thing to do, but it is an extremely hard thing to do.
It's very hard.
An
Oh, I know.
expensive thing to do, and the towns, we set up, a number of years ago, had to, take care of, purple loosestrife out on Meadow. I mean, there's so many examples.
Yeah.
of places that good money and effort's been spent, and
Yeah,
you don't stay on top of it.
maybe even just an education program
Well,
for
that's-
homeowners so that they take care of any invasive species on their own property.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
PCC does a pretty good job, they've, every once in a while take on certain projects and go back in
Yeah.
but it's a repeated effort.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and also the plan, the management plan is actually to figure out where it's strategically important to get rid of.
exactly.
We don't have to get rid of every
Yeah,
invasive
that's-
plant in the town.
Yeah.
We have to focus.
Let's rein it in, folks.
Okay.
Let's rein it in. All right, so again, I don't really know if we're on the right line. See comment to line 53. 53 was him talking about
That's in-
flooding in different areas.
No,
What's related
53
to
is
that?
the
54.
I think he's one off, right?
Yeah.
So it's 52.
Either 50
Or 54.
So for line 55, he means 54, and in line 54, then he means comments to line 52.
We can't even see 52.
Fine.
Can't go.
Doesn't he mean it for 55?
Susie,
Yeah,
What
we're
is-
already
what is
down
the comment?
52.
okay, line 55, which I'm not sure what he means.
What is he
See
saying?
comment line 53.
Yeah, I think he means 52 and 54.
Yeah. Yes,
They're
yeah,
both
because
about
they're both
flood-
talking about flood
floodplains,
areas.
Yeah,
Why don't we just make our
So-
own decisions as to what?
I'm just trying to orientate us right now, Nancy.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Are
Okay.
we good keeping 54 the way it is or what?
Yeah, I think it is sort of the same conversation we had
Yep.
before about
yeah,
high value floodplain areas.
yeah, I could, yeah, I would
Alright.
be happy to take that out, that's fine. I
Do
can
you want
gray
to
it,
take it out?
I'll gray it out.
If you take it out, it'll make his numbers even worse.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
take it
don't
out.
delete it.
Yeah,
yet,
just
please
gray it.
Put
I'm
it
just
in gray.
graying.
I will
I'm
take it
just
out later.
graying. I'm graying things out here.
Line 56, which I guess is 55, he's fine with. Line 57, which I guess is 56.
Yep,
He says, I'd add evaluate, we already do this to.
he's
the-
talking,
No, that's
Swap
the
shop.
only way a swap shop's gonna work.
Okay,
I mean,
hear his comments out, please. I'd add evaluate, we already do this to the informally,
It's,
to the
it's-
extent we can. We have to pay for a building to do anything larger.
well, you would have to provide a space for it to have, but that can happen cheaply. You don't have to buy it as you build it. You can get an old trailer. That's what we did in Pittsburgh when I ran the transfer station there. And it was very effective for books and clothes and.
So this one was,
that it's
on
56.
I think we should leave
yeah,
it in
so
there.
this one was ranked,
20 or more votes.
Well-
It's like,
Was it?
yeah, what else does it say about the?
it just says
Say.
workshop 2, anything with 20 or more votes got carried over.
Yeah, so I don't know how many votes it got, but.
You could add the word evaluate if you want to listen to his comments. If you don't, you could leave it as is, but I think that's mostly just what he's asking for is the word evaluate.
It's change established to evaluate.
That's fine, evaluate the
that.
feasibility of a
Yeah.
swap
Yeah.
shop.
Alright,
Yeah.
did you do that, Victor?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Please,
we gotta
thank
start
you.
with the plan.
Okay, line 60, which is
Exactly.
59, leave out. County already does this and leads this.
Yeah, the EMA.
It's
has
true. I mean, they do
Yeah.
Sure,
do it.
go ahead, please. Gray out 659. Update the county EMA, blah, blah, blah.
I'd like to keep 62.
60 to 62.
This is effective.
Which is really 59 to 61. Leave out, already do this, and I believe FEMA considers projections as they develop maps.
FEMA's about to go belly up, so
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
We already participate
Large
in the
organization.
NFIP,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that can be
And.
Great.
That doesn't need to be in there.
National Flood Insurance Program.
Okay,
Yeah.
so does that interact
so
with the
we're
town,
done.
town gets information?
Grayed out?
from them?
It says participated.
They already
so
do it?
a town
I mean,
that
some of these things I
joins
was like,
and
you're already
they either
doing it and it's
participate in it
good
or they
because
don't.
it
We already
is
do
Can
one
we
of
do
these
maintain,
actions.
can we do maintain participation in?
You
I mean-
can
Just
do,
take
what you can do what you want. It
means-
would be really abnormal for us to leave something like that. It's very established.
I think it's,
I think
yeah,
it's
it's
fine to get
not
rid of it.
really
Okay,
gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, that the town would go.
got that, okay. I'll
65
just
is
grade it.
really,
Get a mortgage.
64 is fine, he says.
What did we do with 62? We taking that out too, because we think we're already doing that under the National Flood Insurance Program?
It's just not happening and we already talked about it last time, I thought. We graded out last time. And there's no one associated with it, so
Okay.
we've already dealt with that. 66, oh wait, that's evaluate, which it was 65.
Establish a peer-to-peer program
Okay.
for checking in on.
So he said, add the word evaluate, could be people are not interested in this. Well, if people aren't interested, I don't,
It's because maybe it hasn't been suggested or tried.
Right, right.
but that's
Again, all
something
he's
that
asking
an
for is the word
age-friendly
evaluate.
community would automatically
If
be
you wanna
doing.
change that, you can. If not, you
We
can
already
keep it as
had
more
it.
strongly.
we already had it grayed out, so I don't, he's
Yeah.
commenting on something we were already not dealing with.
Yeah.
69, fine, we already do
Do
this.
this to the-
Work with Central Maine Power, yep, I think we need to take that one out, cause it didn't make any freaking sense, and I
one?
don't know why it made the list from FB.
Yeah,
We're not lobbyists, it
Yeah.
makes no sense, can you grade the whole line out, please?
Working on.
Well, I agree. I'm the one that
70,
wrote that in
remove,
there.
so 69 is
I'm doing what the
encourage
public said.
underground power lines. it's beneficial, but also increased costs, best to let property owners make their own decisions.
No, it's not.
And
We
I
can-
said,
No,
you
I think
kept it
it's-
in the FB evaluation, it got a lot of votes, so. I
Well,
shouldn't
the
have kept it
word,
in.
I mean, the word there is encourage, it isn't
Yeah.
require.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know.
right, leave it, because that's what the public asked for.
Yeah,
All right,
What
Yeah,
if I
it's a
went,
new
what, you know, what if I went
development.
for a building
It's
permit
becoming
in Tom?
more critical as, I mean,
Oh.
we're having power outages all the time.
And it's awfully nice not to
and
see
it
power
actually,
lines.
it actually increases all of our costs because we all pay CMP.
Yeah.
And if,
Straight.
if we're putting in new developments that are gonna constantly need, you know, whatever correction,
Amen.
then
Amen.
Yeah,
we're
right.
gonna
So
be
he's
paying
not
for it.
looking
So
at-
it's,
Like you said.
I don't care if it
encouraged,
costs
so-
more.
all right,
Anyway.
Yeah.
sounds good. Line 71, which is really line 70, says it's fine, we already had it grayed out.
Yeah.
Line 72, which is really 71, he put remove, already having line 36. Also not aware of any tribal facilities in town.
Yeah.
I took out the word tribal. 36 is about EC renewing, reviewing the, capital improvement plan, which is different. That's my comment back to him,
Yeah.
that I
Where are
didn't
you
say.
at? Which one are you?
71.
71.
So you think it should stay, or you,
I think it should stay.
I'm gonna remove tribal. If that's okay.
Oh, I didn't remove the word tribal? Okay,
Not-
yes, but
Not
good
in
catch,
my copy, at
yes.
least they're mine.
I don't understand though, aren't these things already included in the CIP in town?
I would say, yeah, probably at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, if there
Is
is a
it really-
capital
is it-
investment plan.
Instead of develop, is
Ready
it
develop. is the wrong
continue
word.
to,
Yeah, or adjust or adapt.
Yeah, I don't know how to reword
Let's
that.
say
Sorry.
adapt the current CIP to
What
identify.
does Mark say about this one? It's important to look at the town.
Maybe I
I
could say
just-
ensure the capital improvement plan identifies,
continues to
it continues,
identify.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
yes, okay, that's interesting.
like that.
As far as the next one there, I found, there's 9 culverts that TNC identified in town, and 5 of them, 3 of them were high priority, and I think 4 of them were kind of a medium priority, but you can see them on a map,
Yeah.
where they need them, and I don't think we're doing anything, Meadow Road being one, that, that's one that's gonna take more than a culvert there to fix, but that's
That was,
it's
one.
identified as a place, Meadow Crossing.
They
that's
have
a
done
road.
when some things already.
Pardon?
Okay,
They
so
have put in the cover.
Is this?
No, I understand, but it's still gonna flood.
Yeah,
What does
I
this have
know.
to do
Yeah,
with-
It's gonna continue.
But point is, TNC got them there, and it's not a huge list. They're all problem areas, but
What's the next comment?
yeah, 76, I guess. The ability to do this depends on what ends up being included in the plan. If the plan is scaled back, as I have suggested, this may be doable. If it is not, we don't have the staff time to monitor or implement all that is contained in the current draft. We would need more staff. My comment was, this just means keep current committees, no new efforts here.
Hmm,
76.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the committees, like,
Yeah,
we need
exactly.
to support the committees.
Yeah, continue to
say
support. I don't see where.
Committees, are we talking about committees here, or does he think that we're talking about new groups of community?
So I think it's because you
stakeholders?
have planning as the lead for it. If you wanna have planning take a lot of work of having this, going to committees and saying you should be doing these things as part of this, that's probably another planner, quite honestly. So if you wanna move yourself to the priority where you're gonna go talk to other committees and support them in this, I think that might be taken better, but it's because planning is the priority for this, and we would need like a sustainability or resiliency plan.
Yeah, so you're really just talking about swapping.
I'm saying that, you have
Putting the
planning is,
committees
so that's
ahead.
saying that
I
that's
think
more
we're-
than our department can handle at this
I
point.
think that we're asking for staff support. That's what that is, which means staff takes the lead
Oh,
and they're
oops.
supporting these different committees. If it's more than planning that's staffing bike ped, the Conservation Commission, then
I could
that's
just say,
that.
I just say staff here. And then.
Yeah.
Okay, Energy Committee. I don't know, is that what?
Yeah.
Okay. Because actually, bike ped is,
Yeah, so staff,
it's,
or why don't you put public safety department or whatever,
oh,
planning, comma,
or I
what
could,
is
instead
it,
of,
public safety
yeah,
department?
yeah, I don't know, that's possible, yeah.
Oh, PSD, that's the acronym.
I don't know of an acronym for them. I'm just.
Yeah, I don't think they existed in any of the plans I've seen.
It
Okay,
would probably be PD, actually, sorry, police department.
PD, yeah, okay.
77.
That makes
is that
sense?
where we are now?
all right,
That's
77.
educational.
Fine as
Education.
long as EC means that the energy committee will be doing it, not just directing a staff member to do it. Yes, assigned to EC.
Yeah, it's an education.
78, fine if relates to Topsum. SS had no comment equals remove. Amplified,
I think that's really important to have that in there, frankly. Public health advisories, and then there was another issue, another item that covered the same idea of the police department and the fire department alerting people when there are risks, and I think we should have these. This is one of the things that the greater, stronger weather events are going to need notices to people. I mean, like,
I think we just, I don't know, I think we should just remove it.
Which one is this? To pursue, I'm sorry, amplify public health advisories?
I mean, do we do any public advisories right now?
Yes.
Yes,
We
yes.
do.
I
Well,
was saying maybe use of the electronic kiosk. I don't think it's well defined and I don't know who is going to take charge of it and if it's ongoing. I just don't feel strongly about it.
Isn't there a need though for the seniors to be hearing about stronger winds and rain events and
well, we get those, if you sign up for the alerts, then you should be getting them.
from the town?
You get them from, I'm not sure who sends them, but I think it's the county that sends them.
Okay, county.
If you
emergency
sign up on
management.
the county emergency site, you
Okay.
get all the, I mean, I get texts all the time,
Yeah.
especially when I'm not in town.
Thank you.
So, so there's it sounds to me then like there's a place for the energy committee or somebody to, make sure people are, seniors in particular, know that they can sign
I
up
don't
for
know
these.
who's supposed to be dealing with this and if it's like the public health. Whoever the town hires for a stipend, they don't have hours to deal with this. I think it just needs to be removed. I have no clue where to go with it and I
I'd
doubt
support
anyone's
that.
stepping up.
Yeah,
to it.
I'll
I mean,
put
it
them-
sucks,
Because
but
it's not gonna get done.
Yeah, I'll put it in gray.
I don't
think there's a need.
disagree that it needs to be done,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna sit
I mean,
here and
unless
figure
we
out
can-
who's supposed to be doing this.
Unless we
and-
can integrate that into the previous one that talks about an outreach program and we can add in like
Yeah,
and public health and emergency
Interesting.
resources available or
Yeah.
something like that. That's the only thing I could think of
and
integrating
make
somewhere
people,
else.
let people
Can
be
you Google the
aware.
peer-to-peer in there? Can you Google peer-to-peer in this document?
that's the
Cause there
same
was
sort of
there was
thing.
another
Oh, you mean,
item that was
You mean
peer-to-peer,
search
blah,
for-
blah, blah, helping people. Just, if that one got grayed out, let's ungray it and
oh, there it is.
Combine it. Maybe with,
I just feel like there isn't, if the PW isn't doing a peer-to-peer program, I don't know what else I mean, this is gonna be like
What would it be, P2P?
Sagadahoc,
No, it doesn't work.
whatever,
So
you
this-
know.
This is the
hazard.
rave
Yeah.
alerts, correct? That
Yeah,
Cover
yeah.
this.
There it is.
We have signs up around those in the building to get people interested in them.
Yeah,
So what
56.
department's dealing with rave? Public
It
safety?
would be fire, public safety, it's through the county.
Yeah, there's a 56 is established peer-to-peer program for checking in on phone.
Is it grayed out?
It
Yeah.
is,
Okay, so do you wanna then deal with 78 and just say
yeah.
public safety?
50, look at, I've heard of 56.
Okay, yeah, let me,
Put ongoing, cause they're doing this rave thing.
I mean, I will say, I don't know if they're doing anything, it's something available through the county that Victor.
Yeah, but if you're promoting it, you know,
There's
Yeah.
a flyer.
so then put public safety.
it's the,
Yes.
yeah, I guess, or PD, police
I
department.
mean, we could, the town.
You could do
bulletin board
PD
could be
functions
used
if you
for
want.
power outages or
Oh, yeah.
extreme heat warnings
Yeah.
or air quality advisories.
All right, we're almost there.
Who would do it, but we don't have a medical person on staff.
80 to 82. Fine, but again, stating that if a task is assigned to the energy committee needs to undertake the majority of the work as opposed to delegating it to a staff member.
Yeah,
Well, I'm doing that at
Of
Mount
course.
Airy. On a regular.
Yeah, I
basis.
mean, we're
School year.
notated as doing it, so I
Yeah.
don't understand.
we said
Okay,
no.
And I guess.
This is
Yeah,
talking
I
about
think that's it.
79, which has, it's TCC, Topsham.
Community, Conservation Commission.
Oh, okay. Is that a fair
You guys are
assignment
doing that.
for the Conservation Commission?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not on our. Did not achieve 20 votes workshop, so yeah, it's not our highest priority at the moment.
but it's a priority? Do you want it to stay?
Yeah, it's fine, I mean, I think that would be something we could do, and
You have, may I suggest an 81, collaborate with local schools to incorporate climate change, resilience and sustainability. And building education into school. Curriculum. Because we, I'm doing part of that right now,
Well,
getting the students that are
Operations
there.
doesn't cover it, Nancy?
yeah.
No, there's students in the building do not understand the building, and I'm making a big effort with the science teachers to make this possible.
Okay, so what
to
is,
happen.
what is
So what we're
exactly you want
doing-
to say?
We're
Collaborate, just
educating-
give me exactly what you want to say. Collaborate with local schools to incorporate climate change, resilience and sustainability
In school,
into school
Curriculum and
curriculum.
operations, maybe that's enough, maybe that's.
All right,
I
great.
think that covers it.
yeah, I think it does.
So, anything else? Cause I'm getting angry.
I just want to check in. You
Yeah.
guys made it through this. Very great. Can I have this by Thursday morning?
What's today?
Tuesday evening?
I have somewhere to be tomorrow night.
What more, I guess you have notes.
Well, I mean, we just gotta gray out the stuff and that's it and figure out who PD or there's a couple that are like, I don't know what acronym to use. I think it's,
Yeah, I put
If
in
you-
PD and one case fire, FD for fire department, so I guess we need to add those.
Could just add that to the glossary.
Yeah, to the acronyms, yeah.
well, I have it cut and pasted down there.
Oh,
Do
that's
you mind just
an image. Okay,
staying back and deleting all the gray ones and we'll get it done
oh,
right now?
sure.
Okay.
I can't leave until you guys leave the building.
Oh, well, I can just do it, I can do it overnight, I mean, I can do it,
Still do it tonight?
Yeah, I'll do
Alright.
it.
Make me a motion to adjourn.
okay.
Oh, sorry, do you guys want to do a second public? There's just someone on the attendees. I don't know if you want to ask if there's any more public comment. Usually I do that when I see someone in the attendees.
Oh, yeah, sure. Public comment?
Laura, you want to say
If
anything?
anyone wants to say, I can allow you to talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's listening.
Oh, who's this?
That's my way.
I just like to be aware because sometimes I miss people in the
Right.
attendees, so I like to try to be aware of that, so. I haven't seen any raised hands. We're gonna move past that.
Any more staff updates?
Thursday morning, that's the staff update. I just need something to post before the meeting.
Okay. Actually, before we go, Ed said we can go to the transfer station to solicit for the meeting. We've got these things here.
All right,
I will go back everybody into that. Please share out with the Facebook groups and so forth. And Sky, you got a bunch of emails to go blast off to people.
I already blessed it.
Okay. I didn't get anything from Rose, so I don't know what her list is,
No, she
but,
needs town manager approval to do that, so I'll check in with her.
okay.
Take one, because then I can duplicate it.
And.
I think I might head out, you guys, if, I was wondering whether you were gonna get to, there was an item in the agenda called, comments on the greenhouse gas emissions reports, but maybe that's just old, but anyway,
Yeah,
I
it
will-
linked to Matrix. It was the matrix. It was.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well,
Right.
I'm gonna head out then.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
bye.
Meg.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh,
When's the school gonna be their little?
Nancy,
What was that?
Nancy, when was the
Thursday?
school doing the education on the building?
It's 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock this Thursday night.
Okay,
And it's a STEM night, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. And there are all kinds of interesting demonstrations of 3D printers and the sharks, the sea perch research, water tank and robotics that they're doing there. There's
Don't
a,
forget tickets
if it's
for,
clear, telescope watching. We're doing energy tours at 4:35, 5:30.
Nancy, could you quick send me a thing about that and I can post?
Okay, and I'm gonna
It's-
send
no,
out the
okay.
revised,
Unless you're gonna
This
pass it on to other
weekend.
people.
okay.
okay? I'll do it for Saturday,
This comes.
so you guys can make sure you like your language for your.
Okay.
Oh, well, someone's gonna have to, who's gonna be doing the extra slides?
No.
I don't,
So Victor, it's kind of in the middle of your.
oh, you mean presenting them? Yes, I can present them,
Okay.
yes, yeah,
All right,
no problem.
that'll
with
be you.
that. I'm not sure if I have time to actually create
We,
them yet.
I'm sorry, so the last few
You still
slides
need
are,
material, I could probably
right?
create
The last few slides,
of these evenings.
I didn't write it down.
I have their past
4 or 5
is opening. Nancy was doing 4 and 5, Victor 6 through 8, and Nick 9 to 10.
Yeah. Okay,
So
right.
I'll do 6 plus the new ones through 8.
You all are awesome. Good work, everybody. It's quite a project to get it all through.
I agree. Good job, you guys.
Thanks.